Uncle Charlie says we are the Kaitiaki of our land, rivers and sea.
So together we went out to find out what Kaitiaki means to us.
Kia hau nei tā mātua te kāinga ko mātua katoa ngā Kaitiaki o tātou taonga te kūtai. Hanga ona te kūtai engari ngā taonga ngā kai moana katoa o tātou moana. Engari te kūtai te kaha tini o tēnei kai moana runga o ngā toko hanga anō mō mātou o kaumātua tia ko koro heke ngia. Engari ngā rangatira ki te haere mai. Nā reira me kaha tātou katoa ki te tiaki, te taonga.
We needed to learn more about kūtai, so we went to Lee Marine Reserve to talk with Professor Andrew Jeffs.
I think there's 7 or 8 different species of mussels. The common ones that you'd find in Matihetihe is the green lip mussel. Mostly on the rocks you get it at a smaller size because if it gets too big it just gets smashed off the rocks. You get a black flea mussel, and also found on the rocks on the west coast because it forms a very thick mat and they manage to hold together and survive the pounding of the waves. Many of the traditional reefs had been cleared from overharvesting.
We started to think a lot more about our whenua, awa and moana and what we need to do to keep it healthy.
As our streams meet the sea, the habitats in between also play a huge part in keeping our environment healthy and whole.
Our native forest is a very important part of our environment and planet Earth. It gives us oxygen to live and breathe and is home to beautiful native birds, plants and animals.
Our next challenge was to walk up the Wara to see what our dock rangers, Kylie and Fiona, are doing in our forest.
For quite a long time, and then the female will call back. So in Wara we have ground-based control for possums, and so that means that contractors come in and they do certain part of the forest. The contractors generally use cyanide.
Usually along the area just across the gully here, that's the rifleman habitat. So we'll go out and stay there and we just stop in certain places and listen for about 5 minutes to see if we can hear riflemen. And with the short-tailed bats we have one person responsible for that, so she'll come out. And the recent ones that's been heard, we've only heard long-tailed bats, we haven't heard any short-tailed bat calls.
So in places where you're close to the forest, it's really important to make sure your dog's tied up at night or you kind of know where it is so it's not roaming, because dogs and also pet cats can kill a lot of kiwi.
From our forest come streams. Without fresh, healthy water, we would not survive, and neither would any of our taonga.
By looking and learning about what lives in our awa, we are able to tell whether it is healthy or not. Our awa has a lot of native fish and sensitive animals, which means, yes, we do have healthy streams in Matihetihe.
With Kaumātua James Hetahi, our entire school was lucky enough to learn about the tōhiro and the amazing relationship they have between pingao and the Matihetihe plant.
The pingao, when it's grown, you'll see it all growing up, it grows out like this, the next one, next one, next one. And that's what its job is, to bind the sand. A Kaitiaki job is to look after your resource, also to look after the sand dunes, wherever your resource is. What the people and the scientists are looking for now is people with this knowledge of the beaches, Māori people.
Now we know it's up to us
to care for our environment by looking after what we have
and leaving it in good condition for future generations.
We will have done all we can
to keep our home sustainable and abundant.